welcome back to Athletic Everyday, day number 45. And when I woke up this morning, my cold had just hit even harder. I didn't think it could get worse, but it did. Had a pretty splitting headache, and when your nose and your sinuses are completely blocked, so you can't breathe through your nose, and therefore when you breathe through your mouth, your throat gets dry, your lips get cracked. And just generally, like, everything from the neck upwards just feels like it just feels horrible. That was how I was feeling this morning. And for those of you that don't know, I work on Sunday mornings as a swim teacher. And I sort of, in that moment, after waking up, I usually, my morning routine is I wake up, have a cold shower, and then I'm sort of ready to face the day. But for some reason, I woke up and then felt this horrible cold as soon as my alarm went off. And then I was like, I went and messaged the lady that coordinates the swim school, and I said, I've got this horrible cold, and I don't think I'll be able to work today. And it was in that moment I sort of decided in myself, that's how sick I'm going to be today. And I was kind of talking about this with my friend earlier, how much of sickness is the actual physical reality of, the symptoms, and how much of it is your mental attitude towards it, the opinion and the judgment that you have about it. And this really comes back to the Stoic concept of externals and then your opinions about them, or actual reality and then your judgments and opinions about it. Yes, there are sickness. There is the sickness. There is the reality that I've got a blocked throat. There's a virus in my system or something. But how I respond to that is up to me. That's really my choice at the end of the day, and I do have control over that decision. And this morning, I made a weak decision. I made a decision that I was ill and that I was going to spend the rest of the morning in bed. Now, you might think, oh, Max, you're just being so hard on yourself. You should give yourself a chance to recover and recuperate. But I didn't feel better having sat in bed all day. I felt worse. And it wasn't until I made the decision that I don't care how sick I feel right now, I'm going to go and do this workout. And the workout did feel pretty shit. These runs, 8 times 100 meters, felt absolutely god-awful. It felt like my throat was burning. It felt like my head was going to explode at the end of them. And I genuinely was struggling even after the warm-up. The warm-up is like 4 times 30 seconds running. But having done them, and then getting into the bounding plyometrics, these tuck skips, these hops with a tuck, and the rhythmic bounds, the rhythmic, what are they called? Rhythmic broad jumps, I was actually starting to feel pretty good by this point. I feel like I got a second wind, and I had this thought come into my head while I was doing this workout. When I came back from probably the 6th or the 7th 100 meter run, I was saying to myself, I've got one left, one or 200 meter, 1 or 2 100 meter runs left. And I was just thinking, life is really short. You're going to die one day, and it's too short to be spending days in bed not achieving anything, not going out and doing anything. And I also had this thought that everyone that you know is going to be dead soon, and everyone that ever will come to know you will also be dead. And everything we do in this life is just echoing into the infinite void of eternity. So why the hell not do what you need to do in your everyday life to make you happy, to make you feel fulfilled and what's meaningful to you? Who cares what anyone else thinks of it? As long as it's not hurting anyone else, and as long as it's making you happy, then do it as much as you possibly can. And for me, that's this, especially when I'm sick. Not just when I'm sick, but especially when I'm sick. How I felt before this workout and how I felt after this workout is absolutely worlds apart. I feel like a different person. The person I was laying in bed scrolling through YouTube, mindlessly consuming content, feeling sorry for myself, versus the person I felt like when I finished this workout, accomplished, feeling like I've achieved something, feeling like I've made some progress, and just feeling like an overall more purposeful person, someone who's living on purpose. 2 completely different worlds apart. So I'm not necessarily advising everyone to go and work out when they're sick. If you've got like a very serious health problem and working out's going to make that worse, then definitely don't do that. But in a lot of instances, if it's just a minor thing like what I've had today, I think that you can push through and get it done. That's it from me today, and I will catch you in the next one.